If you're a Cleveland Browns fan looking for a break from the emotional roller coaster that is the price we pay from loving then hating our Browns, then a big welcome to Cleveland Browns Anonymous, a group therapy podcast to help you survive the season. So let's start our meeting.
Hey everyone, this is Brook. I'm here with Mike on a Monday, non-victory Monday, where we forgot how that felt. But Browns lose by 1 point to the Bengals home opener. So, Mike, happy belated birthday. That was your birthday present.
Yeah, it's a great day other than the Browns losing. I'm always amazed at how I overreact. You know, when what's our kicker's name? Schmidt?
Who cares?
Seems like a nice young guy. Listening to an interview. When he missed that extra point, I almost exploded off the couch at the skating club where I was watching with a friend of mine. And I thought, oh no, oh my God. And then, of course, that was foreshadowing the chip shot field goal he missed to the right. So, hey, the Browns, I don't know. I have a whole different take than a lot of the analysts. I've been listening to the Cleveland analysts, but I'll let you go first, Brooke.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the moment last night, I was like, you should cut him immediately, bring in someone new. I think you give him one more game. I think if he misses anything that's like of significance, I mean, they're all significant. I mean, even just if he made the extra point, we might be talking about a victory Monday. But I think it's not a short week, but you got the Ravens coming up in 6 days. Give him one more shot, see if he bounces back. But I mean, if he misses anything else that's to win the game or to tie the game, or if he misses just a bunch of extra points, you got to find someone else.
Yeah, I don't forget the Ravens. They're guiding this an extra point last night. I think Mary Kay Cabot had a real interesting take this morning. She said that he was pretty candid, honest. He said, you know, I didn't take into effect the wind. And she said he hasn't really kicked that much in the stadium, which is notorious for being a tricky place to kick in. But I agree with you. I think, hey, we're going on the road to the Ravens. Everybody is already writing the Browns off of that game. Their early line from Vegas is 12.5 points.
Oh, it went down. I thought it was 13.5.
Yeah, no, I saw it last night. It was 12.5. I wouldn't be surprised if it settles in somewhere around 11.
We got an angry Baltimore team. And let me just, I'll counter your point. Special teams coordinator and head coach, maybe you talk to your kicker who's never kicked in the stadium. It's on the lake. There's a bunch of wind. Be like, hey, you're going to take a bunch of practice kicks, like leading up to this game.
Yeah, that's fair point. Bubba Ventrone. Yeah, no, I guess he was just so it was money when he was kicking in the stadium. You know, I remember he played the Rams game, although this has been actually up until the last couple of days in Cleveland. There hasn't been a lot of wind. I've been playing a lot of golf. It's been kind of sultry, humid, no wind to speak of. And then all of a sudden, just about a week ago, that started seeing the wind come up. But no, I agree with you. I think he has kicked in the stadium, but I don't know. I guess I came out of that game encouraged by what I saw.
Yeah, me too.
Browns. I mean, I would be, you know what? I'm in that national, I think it's like 14,000 people are in this national pool, the survivor pool, where you get to pick one team every week. I've got 2 slots I paid for. It's $50 each. And I've been doing this for about 10 years. And every week you pick one team and you know, to win or lose. I got to week 15, 16, a couple of years ago, which was incredible. I was the only man left standing in Cleveland. But the last couple of weeks, I've gone out after week 2, week 3. It's been a joke. Everybody in the country in the suicide pool is going to be picking the Ravens. Everybody. And there have been games in the past where everybody jumps on this one team and it's like a miracle upset. And that's just the nature of the NFL. And let's just take a look at what happened against the Bengals. The Browns, Jim Schwartz, as opposed to Joe Woods, after the first drive of the Bengals, they were doing a lot of draw plays, gash plays, stuff like that. And Schwartz makes some adjustments in the line, and all of a sudden they just shut the Bengals down. And the Bengals have a very good offense, right?
I think I read they held them to 7 yards in the second half.
Yeah, 7 yards. And you could see in the second half, that push was 100% that line was moving forward. It wasn't like it was all miles from the outside. It was a sustained rush from all 4 players on that line. Now, I am going to be very interested to see how the Browns D plays against the Ravens, because 2 things to keep in mind. If the Browns defense is as good as it was in 23, if it has got that D line, and you're going to get Michael Hall coming back, and you got a healthy D line, nobody got hurt, knock on wood. Nobody gets hurt in the practice days this week. But you get a defense, and we're getting 11, 12 points against the I could see the Browns coming in and really keeping that game tight with that defense. And then you look on the other side of the coin. I mean, the Buffalo Bills, they went up and down against the Ravens defense, especially in the second half. And so all of a sudden you got this overwhelming favorite, the Ravens, against, the Cleveland Browns. I've seen these suicide polls where this is like a trap game. I don't know. I think the Browns could shock the Taylor. They beat the Ravens on the road 2 years ago. Deshaun did. They beat them on the road before. But I think the Browns defense played very well. I thought, what's his face? Greg Newsome looked good. We got a healthy Denzel. Hickman had a good game. Schlesinger had like 8 tackles. I know I'm an internal optimist with the Browns, but that defense looked very good against the Bengals. And it wasn't like they were aided by the weather. It was perfect playing conditions. On the flip side, the offense, I thought Flacco looked solid, very competent, night and day from Deshaun Watson. He had close to 300 yards passing. And I like how these receivers, you get a couple more games under their belt, practice with the first team. I thought Fannin, he had a crucial drop, third down, but Fannin looked great. I mean, how good was Sampson? Dylan Sampson? Got him? Dylan? I know there's another guy. Did I get it right, Brooke?
Yeah.
That guy coming out of the backfield, catching those swing passes, it was incredible. He looked great. That just, and I don't know about how long it's going to take to get Judkin up to speed. You get Judkin kind of a sledgehammer back. Hopefully Conklin will be back. So anyway, let me flip it over to you. Let's get away from the kicker. We've already resolved it. He's going to kick against the Ravens. So let's talk about offense, defense, Browns, instant reaction.
Yeah, well, I think it showed that you look at a team like the Dolphins. I think what this game proved to me, granted it's been one game, is the Browns are not the worst team in the league. They're with Flacco.
No, with that defense.
With Flacco, with a good defense, you get the kicker under control. They're not the worst team, So that was the one big takeaway that I had. I mean, with Flacco, he's moving the ball up and down. I don't know about you, but I felt like every time they had the ball, I was like, it's score. Now, the Bengals defense isn't great, but it was vastly improved from how it was last year. I think I heard one stat that Stefanski has never started 0-2 as a head coach. So that tells me, that I have some faith in us. I think it's in Baltimore. So
It's in Baltimore, yeah.
I mean, I think that this was I'm just glad that, it wasn't a blowout.
Oh, and the other thing, Brooke, those 2 interceptions, I mean, you're talking lucky bounces there. I mean, yeah, one was on the low side. I get it, but it wasn't like some of these interceptions we've seen, Baker throw or DTR or some of these guys where just literally just throwing to the guy. I mean, these were lucky bounces. You could have easily had some of the Bengals drop balls get picked off. Let's remember when I'm sorry, but I remember Joe Burrow got hit in the pocket and that ball just kind of fluttered up there. Go ahead, Brooke.
Hey, let's stop here. We got to pay some bills. 30 seconds, and we'll be back. Getting your house ready to sell, or you just need some basic repairs, and you can't get anybody to come out or even return your phone call. Then call Riley Painting and Contracting, your home mechanics, for all of your home repair needs, from electrical, plumbing, roof repairs, and getting your house ready to sell. 45 years in the business, a AAA on the Better Business Bureau, and we're on the preferred contractor list in Cleveland Heights and Shaker Heights. You can contact us by calling 216-371-8160 and leave a message. And guess what? We'll call you back.
No, I think you're going to see the Browns and Baltimore game go for 2 a lot more, especially too. Stefanski doesn't have a lot of, I'm sure he doesn't have a lot of faith in this kicker, but it's like, hey, you got nothing to lose,
I don't know about that. I think the Browns organization is going into this game with the thought that we're probably going to lose. So let's just get this whole kicker thing resolved one way or another. I think they're going to actually give him more opportunity to kick. I think they're going to play the same ball control type game. The key is going to be the Browns defense against Lamar Jackson. I think this team right now, the way it's with that Philadelphia Eagles defensive line type that the Browns have now, the way they just overwhelmed the Bengals, if they can play as well as they did against the Bengals, it's going to be a close game. Flacco with Stefanski's offense is like, watching a better version of Jacoby Brissett. He's going to move the ball. Plus, he has the opportunity now and then to throw some deep balls, which surprisingly he didn't do against the Bengals. I mean, usually he's good for a couple of just rocket launches. I think win or lose next week against Baltimore, it's going to answer the question about the kicker. It's going to answer the question about the Browns defense, at how good it is. Is an elite top 5 defense? Because if it is, the Browns are going to be a 500 team.
If that's the difference between the big thing when the defense was this good 2 years ago was they were elite at home. They were not elite on the road. So I think if you need to be this top 5 defense, you need to show it on the road. And you have probably the toughest case going into Baltimore with Lamar, with Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
I mean, I went up against Derrick Henry yesterday in my fantasy league, and my points just got just absolutely demolished. So, you talk about lightning and thunder with Lamar and with Derrick Henry, and
I can't believe the Bills beat them. I was watching segments of that game. The Ravens were just going up and down the field at will.
Yeah.
It's amazing they lost.
Watch us how good Josh Allen is.
Yeah. But there's something about the Ravens, and I saw this on Get Up. with Greedy on ESPN this morning. And one of the guys made a good point. They should have gone for it on fourth down because they couldn't stop Josh Allen. It's like giving the ball to Patrick Mahomes. You knew if they punted that Josh Allen just moving down the field. So why not just, why not just go for it? They can't stop Derrick Henry, right? They got Lamar. It's kind of like reminds me of Mike Tomlin in that Pittsburgh playoff game with the Browns won in Pittsburgh, 3-4 years ago. Big Ben was coming back. Joe Woods was playing as prevent defense. And all of a sudden, you're just seeing the Steelers going up and down. And finally, they got in the early fourth quarter, and Tomlin decides, they're on the 50-yard line. It's 4th and 1. He punts it. Browns couldn't have stopped him. I don't know. There's something about the Ravens. They just can't get over the hump. But whether they're pissed off or not, I think we're going to be answering even more questions about the Browns. I think they're going to be a plus 500 team. I think they're going to get better as the year progresses if they don't get hit by massive injuries. They've got a lot of good young players. It'll be so interesting to see Judkins in the backfield because now you got another version of, Chubb and what's his face? Senior moment here.
Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt, yeah. I think that's what they were envisioning. I'm just sorry they didn't sign Chubb and just let Ford go. Chubb had a good game. I mean, he had like 60 yards. He was averaging over 4 yards a carry with the Texans. So,
yeah. Yeah, well, like I said, this game proved to me that the Browns are not the worst team in the league. Okay. I mean, the Dolphins they look like the Browns from like 2017. I mean, they lost to Daniel Jones and the Colts, and they got just annihilated. Yeah. It was over by after the halftime point. You got Tyreek Hill throwing a tantrum on the sidelines.
Yeah. I think from a suicide pool, when I got to week 16 3 years ago, and I lost Dallas. I actually bet on Dallas to win, to beat the Giants on the road, and they just typical Dallas. You just gave it away.
I'll tell you one team that looked pretty amazing were the Packers.
Oh, I'll give you that. And the Lions, I'm not surprised the Lions were regressing because they've lost a lot of key players, including their offensive coordinator. And I remember, for those of a certain age listening to this podcast, I remember with the Bernie Kosar years of 86 and 87, they had just a tremendous team. People do not give credit to the fact that Ernie Accorsi, the great GM the Browns had before Modell got jealous and kicked him out, Accorsi purposely brought in Lindy and Fonte to run the offense. And in 86 and 87, the Infante offensive play calls with Kosar was just revealing. It just opened up everything. Then Infante got an offer to do head coach because he'd done so well. And then Marty put his brother. Marty started calling the plays, and all of a sudden the Browns, he was just started regressing.
I can't wait to watch that game tonight. I want to see, how the Ben Johnson, the Bears look. Because, Ben Johnson, OC for the Lions, past couple of years.
Oh, yeah. But see, I'm sorry. I went off on a tangent. I'm sorry. But no, my point was they lost their offensive coordinator, and that's huge. They just didn't look the same. So, yeah, I think the Packers look great. But then again, that's the thing about the week 1, week 2, week 3, the early part of the season, how much of this is a mirage? They're just, the Browns defense, you made a great point, Brooke. The Browns defense, 2 years ago, they played I remember when they played the Bengals and shut them down. Well, it was rainy, cold, windy. It was bad for both teams. Miles had a lights out game. So, again, to repeat myself, this upcoming game against the Ravens is going to show a lot. I mean, we got big holes right now in special teams. That was a killer for us last year. Cost us 3 games. And if the Browns can just play, Marty Ball, Kevin Stefanski, the game they should have played and easily should have won against the Bengals, a Super Bowl rated team, by the way. But, they get a field goal. They don't have a turnover, one bad bounce to make the extra point. They easily win that game. So,
I mean, they could have gotten a safety.
Oh, they should have. I thought that was the safety. They are overly generous, the refs in those situations. Got a little side note. I really like the punt returner they have. I like the way he's going north-south. I mean, he gets that ball. He just shoots right up. DeAndre Carter, or something like that. He looked good. And no motion penalties like the Deshaun. You got Flacco. Flacco he's up at the line. He's making the calls. You got a veteran offensive
He's such
line.
a pro. He's such a pro.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not going to be living in misery like we did last year, it was not only miserable to watch, but it's so frustrating to watch the dysfunction play itself out in the field when you've got a guy that's clearly the worst quarterback in the league, and they keep throwing him back out there. And everybody in Browns Nation knew they were doing that because of the money they were paying him. They're just digging the hole deeper.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was listening to sports radio this morning, and this one caller was such an idiot, was like, man, if Watson had played, you guys would be ripping Watson, but you're not ripping Flacco. And the radio guy said, yeah, because I'm paying Flacco $5 million a year. Like, what are you smoking? He's getting paid. Like, Watson got paid more per game than Brock Purdy has gotten in like his lifetime.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I'm gonna judge him.
Yeah. Nobody's blaming Joe. Nobody's blaming Joe for those 2 picks. The ball was. We had 3 crucial drops. Fannin had a crucial drop for a key first down on a drive, and then those.
Fannin looked great.
Fannin looked good. Sampson looked great. I thought Njoku loves playing with Flacco. I think Judy was a little bit, if we had Amari and Flacco were running those fade routes so well. We throws them back shoulder, and you could just see there was still a little off with Judy. But that touchdown pass to Tillman, you saw how he just threw. I mean, so many times Flacco is thrown to that window. It's a thing of beauty how he throws that ball as these guys are breaking. So I will take that any day. I'm 100% for Joe Flacco. Even if he has a bad game, throws it. But even when he had his great year, he had a couple interceptions. Go look it up. I remember a couple times they were right before the half, and he just threw it up there. And it was intercepted in the end zone because he was, doing a Hail Mary. Let's see if we can get some points here. He didn't give a shit, And those 2 pick sixes against the Texans in the playoff game, because our defense sucked. So-called lights out defense was terrible in that game, giving up those big chunk plays. So
on the road.
Hey, we'll have a lot to talk about. We'll do this next Monday, Brook, and we'll see where we are on special teams and our defense. All right?
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Thanks, Brook.
All right. See ya.
Thank you for listening to the Cleveland Browns Anonymous podcast with Mike Riley. We have a lot more content on the way as we get this new podcast started. You can also check out some of our other podcasts like the Cleveland Real Estate Investor Podcast and other new ones that will start soon. On any platform that you find yourself listening to us on, feel free to leave us a like or comment or follow us. It always helps.